everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amina, and if you are new here, I'd absolutely love it if you could subscribe to my channel and keep on watching for more educational content and more lifestyle content. Today's video is going to be another kind of chatty Q&A with a video, and today's topic I asked you guys on Instagram is about fasting, Ramadan, and working and revising and going to school and doing exams, and how you guys have found that and how you guys balance it. It's definitely something that I've struggled with quite a bit. The transition from being a student to work life, I found that quite difficult, because being a student I was able to go to university whatever time I want, sleep until mid-morning, and then go to uni around 12 o'clock, stay in the lab until maybe 8 or 9 p.m. and then I'll break my fast somewhere quite local. That would kind of be my routine, and that worked really well. It meant that I didn't really feel the fast at all because I was kind of in the lab all day, and then it also meant that I wasn't losing out on sleep because I could wake up whatever time I wanted. But then last year was the first year that I actually worked full-time in a job, and I didn't have that option. I couldn't just come in at 12 o'clock. I had to be there in the morning, and that really drained me. And I found that when I got home from work, I had given all of my energy to work, and even when I got home, even though when I got home I still had 3 or 4 hours, even more, 4 or 5 hours sometimes, I didn't have the energy to sit down and read and feel like I had time to be spiritual. I wanted to talk about it a little bit and get the ideas flowing and try to prepare for it, because there are some tips that do need you to prepare a little bit in advance, like taking time off, for example. So let me go on Instagram and find all the questions and all the points. You guys sent me so many amazing ones, so thank you so much for interacting with that post. Someone said, I think it's important to discuss how this is a chance to reset your healthy eating habits and get rid of toxic eating habits, and also to stop gorging on fried foods. I highly agree with that. I think since moving out and getting married, we've changed the kind of food that we eat when we fast. So one thing that we don't have anymore is sambusa. It just doesn't happen. We just don't have it in this house. The only time we have it is when we go to like our family's houses or anywhere else for iftar. Otherwise we don't have fried food here. It makes a big difference in the way that you are in the evening. It makes a big difference on the next day. So it kind of means that you'll feel more sluggish. You're putting these fried foods in your body when you haven't eaten all day. Do you really think that's a good idea to break your fast on fried food? That's probably the worst thing that you can possibly touch your stomach with after fasting all day. It's possibly the worst thing that you can put into your stomach. So someone else has said that she feels behind even though she's trying to improve her life. And yeah, I definitely have felt like that. I definitely feel like I have all these intentions. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna read this, and I'm gonna learn this, and I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna volunteer here and there, and then I don't even do half of it. That's why it's so important to set yourself small but like manageable goals. And I think since the past maybe 2 or 3 years, I've just got rid of any of these huge goals I set myself. When you come into the month, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to Tarawih every day, I'm gonna wake up for the night prayer every single night, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And it's amazing to have these goals. I think it's really admirable to set yourself up for those expectations. More times than not, we are not able to meet those expectations, and as a result we tend to be discouraged and mentally feel kind of like, well, we can't do it, just forget it, and we just leave the whole thing. It's better to set yourself small targets, and this is what I always say in my educational videos as well when it comes to revising and studying. It's much better to set yourself small goals, small targets, achieve them, you feel accomplished, and that mentally drives you to want to do more. Someone said, okay, so there are loads of these ones, by the way. Please help, I'm a recent graduate who started full-time employment. Please give me tips. I need tips. Yeah, guys, I need tips too. This is why I was asking. And if you do have any tips, please leave them down below. I'm sure that there'll be other things that you guys do that will be helpful that I didn't get messages. Concentrating, so how to concentrate. Okay, so concentrating, I think it depends. I don't know what you mean, but concentrating in exams, I have got a whole video coming up that I filmed recently with quite a big YouTuber, educational YouTuber. I am going to discuss that in that video, so keep your eyes peeled for that in the next couple of weeks. Someone said, last year I booked a whole lot of mornings off, which really helped. And then she goes on to expand, and she says, that's a really good one actually. I've always thought of taking the whole month off, but I never considered like actually just taking the mornings off, for example, which is great. And I like that she's, I think it's a female anyway. I like that she's said that she's taken only 3 mornings off per week. So it kind of gives you the chance, because you can't take every morning off. You might have meetings in the morning, you might have things that you need to do in the mornings. So 3 mornings a week, it gives you that that compromise, because at the end of the day you have to compromise. We're not somewhere where we can just be like, all right, it's Ramadan, see ya. Can't do that. We have to compromise. We have to be able to balance working and maintaining professionalism, and also trying to make the most of a month that only comes once in a year, and you know, we're never going to see it again. So it's really important to be able to balance the two, and I think that's a great way of compromising. So thanks so much for that tip. That's definitely going to be useful. Someone said reverts. Interesting. Alhamdulillah, was born a Muslim, so I don't have much experience in this field when it comes to my experience. But I know that what really helps is being able to break your fast with a group of people. And you know, the month of Ramadan is a very communal month. It's a month where everyone prays together and eats together and gets together and celebrates together, and it's a month where people are just together, but at the same time you have time alone. So that togetherness is really what makes the month feel as beautiful as it is. So what I'd recommend you to do, if you are someone who doesn't have a family here, or you're a student abroad, or you are, you know, your family are not Muslim, they're not fasting, you could try to find places where there's communal iftar. So one place that you can go is the Ramadan Tent Project, RTP, and it's in Euston Square, so it's kind of like just behind the British Museum. It's an amazing initiative that I volunteered at a few years ago, and I was going to quite a bit when I was in my PhD, and I went to a few times last year as well. But it's a communal place that you can go, totally free, sit down, break your fast, chat to people. I've met the most amazing people there. I met so many of you guys last year that approached me. I've made lifelong friends from there. Sadia, for example, Dr. Sadzi Fit, who I mention all the time, I met there when I was volunteering, and I feel like the people there are so friendly. Everyone's really young, just coming from work or coming from uni or just around the area. It's very kind of young. It's a very young environment. They pray together as well as a Jama'ah. So I'd highly recommend, if you are someone who hasn't got anyone to eat with, go there. It really does make the experience a lot more pleasurable, and it's a great bunch of people, and it's definitely something that I support, and I would highly recommend you guys to support as well. Another study question: how to study effectively and make the most out of your time even though you're exhausted. Exhaustion is from lack of sleep, so make sure that you're getting that sleep, especially now that you are not fasting yet. Get that sleep in. Make sure that you are napping in the afternoon, just 20 minutes, not more than 20 minutes. A way to study efficiently when you're tired is by choosing tasks that are active recall tasks, such as flashcards, or even making mind maps, but just not things like reading dense textbooks or trying to look on the computer screens for too long. Try to get away from that and find ways to actively recall information, and hopefully that will keep you. So someone is giving us a tip saying dedicate your lunch hour to worship. So in that hour, pray, read Quran, etc. That's definitely something that I incorporated last year. You still get your lunchtime. Either way you can do is dedicate that lunchtime to just carrying on with work and then finishing an hour early. So I know my husband, what he did, for example, is he would come to work an hour earlier than he should. He also didn't take a lunchtime, so instead of working a 9 to 5, he works an 8 to 3. He can come home after 3, get a nap, but then he still has the whole afternoon to be able to do what he wants to do. Although, having said that, I personally don't nap. I can't sleep in daylight. It doesn't work for me. I cannot. I don't think I've ever napped ever in the day. So in life, generally, I cannot sleep. It has to be pitch black for me to sleep. So yeah, I'll just wait for the evening. It'll be fine. It's definitely a good tip, thank you. Someone said that you could do a night shift. Yeah, for sure. If you're a nurse or a doctor, that would be a great suggestion. Do a night shift, but not everyone. Read Quran on your commute, so you are using your time to worship. Yeah, for sure. Again, when I was in my master's, my journey from East London to Imperial was like an hour each way at least. So in that time, just on the tube journeys alone, I finished the whole Quran, and that was just on the tube journeys. Like not even reading outside at all, just the tube journeys. So yeah, you can do it. You can read a lot on your. Someone else gave me loads of tips, so thank you so much, Mariam. She says, I found doing adhkar during the day very refreshing, just small little things, and also having a nutritious iftar and suhoor. Yeah, exactly. So just making sure that you're keeping mindful of the state that you should be in all day, even though you can't dedicate the whole day to it or the whole week to it, but just that mindfulness I think is really, really important. So I've got a comment here from Nella Grace. She's also a YouTuber and also a fellow friend that I made from Next Up. She says that what she personally does, and she's a Christian, so principles are quite similar. What she personally does is that she likes to have prompts throughout the day where she reads the Bible. So for example, she says every 3 hours I'll read a verse and I'll think about it and I'll pray. She says I try to always be in a constant state of prayer in my mind, and that really helps me to feel like I'm utilizing my day and I'm not just wasting all my energy on work. So you're in a constant state of thought. I really like this because it's not something I've thought about. I've always thought about a chunk, so I need an hour to read. I also have this sense of like OCD perfection, so if it isn't perfect, if I don't feel the best, if I don't have that perfect atmosphere, I can't do it. But really and truly, like I said, it's an intention. I think this is the last tip that I have is take some holiday during Ramadan and just focus on your deen as much as possible on those days, and then just may Allah make it easy for us. I mean, taking the whole month off is possible for some people, but then that means that the rest of the year you can't take any time off. And I don't know about you, but I want to go on holiday so I'm not going to take a whole month off in Ramadan. I'd much rather take, I don't know, a week off or a week and a half off. Maybe take like the first week off and then somewhere in the last 10 days off, so at least there you feel like you've got that initial burst, and then you also have that last minute kind of, you know, cram, and I think that's definitely a good one. I think a lot of people do it, but not everyone has the flexibility to be able to take time off like that. I really wanted to get this video out a couple weeks before Ramadan because it's something that we should be thinking about before the month dawns on us. It's not something that we should be thinking about the night that we find out it's Ramadan tomorrow. Oh, what am I going to do tomorrow? No, it's something that we should be preparing for and kind of trying to reschedule in our heads and give ourselves that focus, and try to even maybe fit it in a little bit before Ramadan starts. The last week, try to think to yourself, alright, what would I do next week? What am I going to do in terms of my lunch times? What am I going to do? What would I do here or there? And try to set yourself up a little bit for it before the month actually appears, and you'll just go straight into that month. It's the same way that, for example, with exams, you wouldn't just sit an exam, you revise for it for months and months before that day where you sit the exam. So it's a similar thing. So hopefully this video is helpful and it's made you think a little bit about how you are going to organize your work and fasting life, and it's definitely helped me as well. Even if it hasn't helped you, it's helped me rethink for this year how I want to do things differently to last year. Obviously I feel like I didn't maximize last year, I know the year before I feel like I didn't maximize that year as well, and I know everyone kind of wants to do better the next year. I definitely feel like I want to do better this year as well. So hopefully we all reach Ramadan inshallah and we all manage to reap the benefits from it. I am going to be vlogging in the month. Super excited for that, but probably like what I did last year, like bi-weekly or something, or weekly. But yeah, really excited for that and I can't wait, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to hit subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up, the like button for more content from me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!